Good afternoon, San Diego. Meteorologist Shawn Styles here with a look at your weather. And boy, I'll tell you, we are looking at some classic Santa Ana conditions. Very, very windy, dry over the East County and into the mountains. And as you look west from San Miguel Mountain, clear as can be all the way to the coastline. Tons of sunshine, temperatures well above average, and very, very dry out there. We have the wind advisory being extended by the National Weather Service until Monday at 2 p.m. Now, it was supposed to come down today, but the winds are still kicking up. They're not at the high wind warning level that we had over the mountains over the past couple days, but these winds are still pretty strong over the mountains and all the way out to the I-15 corridor. Look at some of the peak winds yesterday. This was absolutely amazing. Sill Hill, 88 miles per hour. Big Black Mountain, 82. Cuyamaca Peak, 76. And just for your information, 74 miles per hour or higher is hurricane force winds, category 1. Can you imagine being out in the East County with these kind of winds whipping around? Thank goodness we've had tons of precipitation, so a lot of the vegetation is very saturated with moisture, but still there's a lot of dry and dead brush in the East County. These are the current winds right now, and as you can see, it's still pretty windy over the mountains. Once you get down into the foothills, it starts to calm down a little bit, although Ramona at 30 miles per hour, Poway at 15, Escondido 25, but out to the coastline, it's just dead still calm. Really spectacular weather pattern right now. If you like sunshine and really kind of mild conditions as far as no rain or any type of sleet or anything like that. We're not going to see that at least for the next 7 to 10 days. Current temperatures, we're in the upper 60s to low 70s from the East County all the way out to the coastline. Del Mar a little bit cooler because of the location of the thermometer there, but 68 in Encinitas, 71 in Escondido, Chula Vista at 68, La Mesa 70. Overnight lows because of the dry atmosphere, very, very chilly into the low to mid 40s, 50s in the rest of the county out to the coastline. Tomorrow's highs, again, will be very, very warm compared to where we should be for this time of year. We're talking mid 70s in the East County, upper 60s to low 70s along the coastal strip. And I mentioned the humidities. Look at how dry it is. 16% in Ramona, 17% in Escondido. Only along the coastline where the onshore flow is kind of doing battle with that Santa Ana condition are we seeing some higher moistures. We've got a pretty big northwesterly and westerly groundswell heading our way. 3 to 5 feet with some 6-foot sets. Water temperature 62. We go to a low tide from early in the morning, well before the sun rises, a 0.6 at 2:11, and then pushes throughout the afternoon. So a pretty good day for surfing as that tide drops. Should be good in the early morning hours around, say, 8, 9 o'clock, and then throughout the day with the tide coming in. Look at how clear it is, all the way out to the Coronado Islands here. We're talking about the South Island and North Island off of Mexico, and some sort of very large ship right there. And you can see a little bit of texture on the ocean from that offshore flow. 69 southeasterly winds right now. And as we look at the temperatures in the Sierra Nevada, Mammoth Lakes, Mammoth Mountain, the ski area, in the low 20s, San Francisco 56. Check out Monterey and San Luis Obispo, 67 and 72. They're under the influence of this offshore flow. Santa Barbara 66, 71 in Palm Springs, and 70 in the Phoenix area. High pressure still dominating that low, kicking into northern parts of Mexico. It'll eventually move into Texas. High pressure expands. The Santa Ana winds will drop off, but the temperatures will stay warm. And then we're going to keep our eye on this area of low pressure that starts to develop in the central eastern Pacific. It might undercut this high pressure and make its way into Southern California. As you can see, it sits out there and churns. The high pressure remains rather strong over the west. Here's the forecast winds overnight into tomorrow morning. So we stay pretty windy over the foothills and the mountains. The winds continue to build throughout the afternoon, and then they'll start to subside as we go into Tuesday morning. Not even really that much of a wind issue along the foothills, just a little bit over, say, 15, 20 miles per hour. I'm going to keep the weather impact in place because of those strong winds in the mountains and the inland areas. And notice those temperatures. You stay in the low to mid 80s all week long in the inland microclimates. The coastline, you'll be in the low 70s. Mountains, we're going to keep that weather impact there for the Santa Ana winds, and then the temperatures stay very warm. Deserts, absolutely spectacular. That's a look at your weather.